Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
Joseph Boyce Adams, George Rogers Anderson, Robert Milton Arnold, Jr., William Thomas Banna, Jr., Darrell Emerson Barnhouse, John Joseph Becker, Jr., Arthur Eugene Bedall, John Lester Began, Jerome Bell, Anthony Hercules Bennett, Tommy Joe Barrier, William Kendall Blackburn, Laurel Lee Blevins III, James Earl Blue, David Richard Bover, George Fabian Bonnet, Charles E. Borden, Gary Dean Bowling, Clayton Charles Brannon, Robert J. Brown, David Chisholm, John Patrick Cook, Robert Milton Cravens, Jr., Dennis Owen Crocker, John Edward Cumbry, John Michael Davis, Elliot Leo Decora, James Carroll Dickerson, Robert Lee Dorsey, Arthur Raymond Dupree, Gene Howard Ellis, Jr., Israel Esparza, Mark W. Eveland, Ray Fordyce, Jerry Allen Frakes, John Charles Friel, Carl T. Funkhauser, Robert Charles Gardner, John Alois Gerdesmeyer, Clifford Michael Gibson, Louis Clarence Gills, Jose Antonio Graniella, Jr., Richard Leroy Hall, David Emerson Hall, Joseph Michael Hallas, Charles McCrae Hardy, Otis Lamont Hartree, Raymond Harvey, Marvin Dale Hawthorne, John James Hayden, Dan David Hayes, Dennis Wayne Hefner, William Stephen Hyder, John Robert Hinson, Charlie Delno Hawley, Lawrence Edward Howard, Paul Lloyd Huff, Lawrence James Humphrey, Leland Wayne Hyslop, Crawford Jackson, Jr., Elvin James, Jr., Billy Neal Johnston, Jr., John Hubert Jones, Thomas DeWitt Jones,
John William Kennedy, George Peter Klaus, Nathaniel Knowles, Patrick Leo Cordesmaki, William Napoleon Legrand, Gary Don Lawson, Stephen William Leonardis, Rodney Dwight Little, Michael Allen Lyles, Timothy James Lynch, Donald C. McAllister, Jr., John Howard McLean, Thurlow Meridia McClure, Clifford Paul McCrary, Michael Owen McLannan, Thomas Lee Maricantante, Robert Milliner, Romero Michael Mora, Rogelio Olivon Muñoz II, Michael Dennis Muse, Thomas Wayne Musick, Arturo Alberto Nazabal Jr., Stephen Robert Ott, John Francis Overlock, Yeppy Joseph Payne, Larry J. Peters, Samuel Henry Pierce Jr., Robertus Pinckney, Gary Ray Ralph, Kevin Ralph Reamer, Robert Michael Reynolds, Timothy V. Rhodes, Joseph Francis Ribeiro, Raul Rivera, John Elmer Rowe, Edward John Rosser, Robert Anthony Schmid, Robert Louis Schofield, Stephen Allen Sharp, Ronald Eugene Shipley, Gordon A. Skinner II, Alexander Martin Slusier, Richard Robert Smith, Hugh Edwin Smith, Jeffrey W. Smith, Charles David Sonkalb Jr., Kenneth Raymond Spone, John Delbert Strait, Lamar Hayes Temple, Charles Leonard Troxell, Eugene Tucker, David Vautour, Gary Lee Wojcik, Robert Roland Waltrus, John Edward Wibbins, Jerry Lee Wilson, Ronald Paul Winters, Terry Ray Zimmerman.